hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma.
Everybody. Oh wait, I'm gonna let it. It's still the music going. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, you guys. We just went live just as I was telling Berto to go to hell.
Masters of None, episode 117. It's Tuesday night. It's 7 p.m. on the dot. Your clocks are wrong, and we're on time.
Hang on. Why can't I hear myself through here? Make sure my headphones
Here.
plugged in.
What about that?
Now I can hear me.
Is there a snare in your headphones?
A snare? Like a snare drum? Like
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
I'm good. Why? You got a snare in your headphones?
Isn't that what he says? Isn't that what Eminem says?
Oh, okay. Yeah, he says there's no snare. There's no snare in my headphones.
Yeah.
Because they had the snare muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
It's the snare drum from the beat.
Oh, that's where that comes from. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not musically inclined.
Yo, don't worry, man. I
So
got you.
the
Just
snare-
like I don't know shit about cars, and you hold my hand and walk me through that whole thing. I got you, bro.
So a snare is not this cushion thing that rests up against your face. Huh, that's interesting.
It's
So it's not. These aren't headphone snares. That's interesting. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day, I suppose. Because you tell me you knew that whole time? You never once thought for a second, like, what's he talking about?
No.
I thought my man had like a terrible set of headphones on, and it was like scratching the side of his ear, and he's like, yo, man, there's no snare in my headphones.
No, he's talking about the snare drum on the beat is missing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that's what that's called. Of course it has a name. Everything has a name that we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
like a dingle hopper.
Yeah, is that
It's
shit?
a fork.
That goes from oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah. Nah.
A dingle hopper.
No, that's from the Little Mermaid. That's what they
Oh, she
call
does her
it.
hair with? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I never
Don't ask
knew.
me why I know that I had an older sister. All right, for all you haters out there.
Nah, Little Mermaid was popping. I was just I was at the doctor's office today, and we were in a Little Mermaid themed room. But I didn't know this. I'll hit you with a fun fact. You know that trim. Now that I'm saying this out loud, you don't need to know this. It's not much of a fun fact, but I've already committed to saying it, so I'm going to say it.
All right.
You know when your windshield ends, and then like right before your hood begins, there's like a piece of plastic trim.
Yes.
I never knew, and so I knew. That shit's called a cow.
Like a moo.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's not as fun fact as the snare thing, but it just came to my head when I was like, you don't never know what things are called, because when I learned what that was called, I was like, huh, I never knew that. 10 years ago today,
What?
I learned that shit.
About that? The cow?
No.
Or about the snare?
No, I learned that shit today.
I was today years old.
I was today years old when I learned that Eminem was not talking about the fucking snare that these things aren't called snares. I probably have said that to somebody at one point in my life, like, no, my fucking snare's fucking all peeling off and shit. I wear it too much. It's like, what? My snare, the cushion piece in between your head and the headphones, the snare. You've never heard the Eminem song, dummy?
There's no snare in my headphones. They're broken.
Damn, man. So what's up, man? How's your week been?
Yo, my week's been good, bro. Oh,
Yo.
a cowl with
Cow.
an L.
Cow.
I said cow like moo, and you said yeah.
It starts with COW. It's a cow.
True.
But how was your weekend? Talk to us about the fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers. Did you get kicked out? Did you wear your shirt the whole time?
Now, I wore my shirt the whole time, but I didn't get kicked out.
Okay.
Actually, I never got kicked out.
No.
They tried to kick me out the first time.
Yeah.
But I fought the powers that be, and my shirt stayed off.
Okay. That's so funny.
But no, it was a really good time. So I saw him at MetLife. That was crazy.
Oh, you went to Jersey?
Yeah, I saw him in the Giant Stadium, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, bro. It was a legit show, and we bought the tickets so long ago that they were really good tickets for a fairly good price. Like, I think we still paid a good amount for them, but we got them from Ticketmaster, like when they were a regular sale.
Wait, how long? Like more than 6 months ago?
We got them like back in February.
Yeah,
or
they're
something
basically
like that.
free. That's what that means. Because it was so long ago that money's like,
Bro, I
gone.
kept thinking we missed it. Bro, I kept telling my girl, I was like, oh shit. I was like, what's today's date? And she's like, it's April 8th or something. I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no, that's not till August. Dude, that went on for like 4 months
That's
leading up to the
fucking
concert,
hilarious.
bro. I swear to God. I'm like, no way it's that far away.
When I buy shit in advance, I always feel like when it finally comes up, it's like basically free. That's like when I get tattooed, I don't count the deposit into my price. You know, when I tell people like, how much did you pay for that tattoo? I'm like, well,
Yeah, bro.
today I paid this much.
Actually, I have an appointment coming up in October. I got to start putting money aside for that.
I'm excited for you.
I'm going to get smacked in the head with some wild amount. Like, you ever walk in and end up paying way more than you thought you were going to pay? Because the tattoo either took longer or, you know?
Yes. Not okay. So I went to I got like a cancellation spot. Like this tattoo artist that I've been following posted, he's like, I got cancellation tomorrow. Who wants to get tattooed? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. And I sent him an image of like the ditch of my arm, like this area.
Yeah.
I think he quoted me like $500 or something like that, $600. I don't remember. And then when I got there, he was like, you sure you want this here? And I was like, well, what do you think? Because I'm not a fucking artist, right?
Yeah.
So I can't.
You're like, kind of, that's part of what I'm paying you for, is for the consultation of what's going to look good.
Yeah. And people should know that too. If they tell you like something's going to look better that way, it's because they've done this shit a million times. You should probably take their advice. But anyways, he was like, all your tattoos are so big, you should do something like bigger. And I was like, well, I have all of this space under my arm. And he was like, cool.
Cool.
We'll
He's
do
like,
something right
I
there.
got all of this Ferrari I got to pay
Yeah.
for.
So it ended up like doubling in price. But I kind of knew it as I was getting tattooed that it was going to be more money. Like it wasn't like, surprise motherfucker, it's too much money. It's way more money than we originally talked about. I kind of knew like as I was getting tattooed, this is going to be a way bigger tattoo. It's going to be way more money. But so no, I don't think I've ever been like hit over the head. I always ask, I'm like, give me an estimate. Like what's this going to range between? And it's never under. It's always at the end of the price.
Of course. It's never like, oh, this could be anywhere from like 600 to like 1200. It's never going to be
Never.
680.
You know what happened to me once, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? One time I went to go get tattooed, and the guy told me one price online, right? And then he comes out, and he has two pieces of paper. You know, because they always have different sizes of the images. So he brings out one size image, and it's he's like, this is nice. He goes, this would be good. He goes, but for a little more money, we'll go bigger. And we'll do this one. And it's like a bigger, it's like a same image, same everything, just bigger. And he's like, it's going to be more money though. He's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. He was like apologetic about it. I didn't really feel like I was getting bamboozled. It's like bigger tattoo, more time.
He gave you the option and lets you weigh it. This tattoo up here wasn't supposed to be this big.
Bigger's better.
This gramophone. Yeah, it was supposed to be on my forearm originally.
What they say, it wasn't
And
good.
then he drew it and was like, you want this to look this way forever? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, for a long time. He's this Russian dude. I'm like, yeah. He's like, then don't go that small. In other words, he was like, you got skinny ass forearms, bro. This tattoo is going to look like a raisin in 30 years. When your ass gets older and skinnier, yeah, that shit's going to disappear. It's going to look like a mole, you know? So I took his advice and then moved it. And I'm glad I did, because it's got all different shapes and like contours, like the way a gramophone looks, like a record player. It's like that's got that big gooseneck horn on it and stuff. And I was like, you know, that makes sense. Like then when I got the hourglass, this makes sense for this kind of space.
Yeah, because it's longer.
It's a vertical image.
Yeah, exactly. The gramophone has like a curve to it. It's perfect for the top of the arm. They picked up
For the deltoid.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot.
And that's why I went with what he was saying. I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
That's so fucking funny. But yeah, so no, I've never been like hit over the head with anything crazy.
Yeah, but I had one that cost more money because he ended up being he was foreign, ended up being at a shop that had like some kind of minimum, or it was like, because it was like a really fancy tattoo shop, you know, so it had like this, like, I don't know, it was some kind of shit where the shit just ended up being more money. He was like, yo, they're taking more money from me than I thought they were taking.
And then you got to get
And
that up.
it got passed on to the customer, you know. But I was like, you know what? The tattoo is fire. I'll give it. It was only like a couple hundred more. I mean, what the fuck is it when you're paying X amount anyway? I was like, you know what? Here,
I got hit with that one
what am I
time.
gonna do?
When it came to paying, he was like, yo, you could give me he goes, you could pay $300 on a card, because I didn't go to the ATM or whatever the case was. He was like, you could go to but you could pay $300 on the card because I got to pay the shop $300. So, and then the rest of the money I needed in cash.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get taxed.
Yeah, no, he's smart.
Like, all right, cool. Did you see the guy who, you remember when Kim K was out in the fucking, I think she was in France. She was in Europe somewhere.
When she got robbed?
Yeah, where was she?
I think she was in France. I think she was in Paris.
Yeah.
Let me look this up. Hang
Paris
on.
is a fucking dirty fucking capital anyways. Paris is the capital of France, right?
I do not endorse anything I've never been there.
It's a dirty place, I'll tell you right now.
It's not dirtier than LA.
Bro, that shit is fucking dirty out there. It's a dirty and
Bro,
it's
they got
smelly.
40,000 people living in the streets, shitting on the sidewalk.
I've never been to fucking LA.
I have.
I can't tell you if it's dirty.
Photograph a sunset. You'll get a bunch of sleeping bags in the
Yo,
image.
start zooming in on people's Eiffel Tower pictures, and you're gonna see mad fucking bottles and shit all over the fucking
Get out,
floor.
yeah?
Yeah, bro, it's filthy.
Get out.
Yeah, bro, that shit looks like fucking. That shit looks like fucking Chinatown, bro.
Shut
That's
up,
just the
yo,
fucking
really?
worst, bro. It's just like there's a smell in the air, bro. It's the fucking worst. You want to talk about places to not go in Europe? In like Western Europe, I'll give you like, I'm sure there's places worse in like Eastern Europe, but like in the touristy places, France is definitely on the at least Paris is on the bottom of my list.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been. I definitely want to go just because, you know, we'll always have Bali. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to go there at some point.
Listen, I don't know. I've heard enough Creole to not believe that shit's a language of love anymore. But what I was gonna say is, she got robbed. One of the guys,
12 in Paris.
One of the
$10
guys
million in jewelry
got out, and this motherfucker's doing a PR run. He's doing like interviews and shit, and he's telling people that he don't regret it. That is no big deal. He's like, she was giving out money and I was there to take it. He's like, I seen one episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where she dropped like a diamond earring in the water.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I just knew that he said something about her saying about something about people starving, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to misquote him, but essentially what he says was, he's like, he doesn't regret it. And like, it is what it is.
I mean, if you can't get in any more trouble, I mean, saying you regret it isn't going to get you interviews. It's not going to get you a book deal, you know.
Yeah.
But when you're like, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it just the same. They're like, get him on the Tonight Show.
It's mad funny because he was speaking in some, I don't know what, maybe he was speaking in French. I don't speak French either, so I have no
Being
idea.
that the robbery took place in Paris,
he probably
possible.
But no, there's a lot of other people. There's a lot of people who immigrate to like other countries in Europe. There's a lot of people there from like all over Morocco, Portugal.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of like.
But in order to get around in the Paris underworld,
I'm sure you guys speak
of
French,
jewelry heist and stealing, you're probably going to speak a little French.
Yeah, no, 100%. Hope I didn't offend anybody with my Paris comments, but fucking sweep the streets and we won't have this problem.
I mean. Oh, we're back. Saif, my bad. Yeah, stream. I don't know what happened.
We were gonna play a commercial and that what happened. You guys, if you didn't see that,
One of our sponsors dipped out.
Yeah, if the stream looked like it was offline for you, it's because you're a valued member and we're not pushing commercials to you.
100%. So that's why we decided to just.
Yeah, it looks like it's offline to you, but it was really a commercial play for somebody else.
What else we got? So the Red Hot Chili Peppers was lit.
Okay.
So we got the tickets a long time ago.
Yeah.
So they were a good price. And then turns out the section that I got the tickets in, because we were in the 100, so we were in like the lower section right before the field. So we had access to like this whole restaurant club area.
Nice.
Where, I mean, it was just a really nice indoor concession stand. That's really what it was. But they had a bar with mixed drinks or whatever. Given I was just having some beers, but.
Don't you, or do you hate, how do you feel about the fact that we as New Yorkers have to fucking go to Jersey to like attend like any stadium events, whether it's like football. Well, I guess there's how the fuck is there 2 baseball stadiums? We don't got 1 fucking football stadium.
There's 2 baseball stadiums and 2 basketball arenas.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're just, I'm sure it has something to do with taxes or some shit. I'm sure there's some kind of reason that it's not lucrative to have a football stadium in New York, unless it's Buffalo, upstate.
That shit's lucrative. You meant to say, I'm sure there's some kind of corruption where somebody's getting their fucking dick tugged for leaving that shit in Jersey.
Yeah.
Speaking of smelly places.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I mean, it was actually, it wasn't as bad.
I've never been there, to be completely honest with you, so I don't know how far, I don't know how long does it take you to get there?
It took us about probably like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
2 hours. We went because we got a hotel the night of so that we wouldn't have to drive home. So I was like, listen, we'll stop, we'll check in, we'll shoot over to the stadium, watch the concert, and then go back to the hotel. So that's what we did, and we just Ubered there. Like, I didn't drive, we just took an Uber there, which was cool.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, but try to take an Uber leaving a football stadium. I want anybody, if you want to have a really awful experience, if you're curious at all, like I'm talking to all the people out there, if you're curious at all about how you can go ahead and have a really shit time at trying to accomplish something, I'd say try to get an Uber outside of an NFL stadium. Yeah. After a large event.
It's probably, the price is probably crazy and it's probably near impossible.
Bro, I booked like 4 Ubers. They all canceled on me in like a matter of seconds, like minutes. You know?
They don't want to try to get through that clusterfuck.
Bro, not only that, then there was cab drivers that were in there. This guy asked me where I'm going. Yo, if you grab that thing live on the air.
Oh, no.
Guy tried to catch the flight. You got to do. Come on, bro. I would have grabbed that shit in some chopsticks.
I should have.
So,
what happened?
Now, I'm sorry. I was reading this fucking stupid chat. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
So as we're leaving, can't get it. There's cab drivers there that start price gouging crazy. They just start price gouging. Like, I'm like, so we're going up here to this hotel, and he's like, oh, I'm like, what? He's like, like $100. I was like, $100, bro. It's 5 miles away. I'm gonna pay you $100. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, you got to be crazy. So what we did was we walked like a half a mile up to this apartment complex and Ubered from there.
That's smart.
Yeah, and then the Uber picked us up.
You just got to get out of that place.
Yeah, we had to get the hell up out of there. I couldn't believe that I kind of anticipated it, but I was like, Uber's got to have this figured out by now.
Some places, not you, Spaz, some places have like lines.
Not stupid chat. I meant this stupid thing that George wrote. Not stupid chat.
Stare at the computer, not stare at each other. Well, George, the computer's behind us. And we stare at each other because we're talking to each other.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what you do when you talk to somebody. You look at them.
How fucking weird would it be if you and I talk? Let's do it for a split second. If we talk like this, I wouldn't even get your reaction or know what the fuck is going on.
Nah, listen, man, we don't use a goddamn teleprompter or nothing like that. So we're not looking at no TV screens. But anyway, it was just a fucking mess, dude. It was a mess, but finally we got out of there. Yeah, we had a great time, man. Great time. The Strokes played with them, and so did Thundercat. But the Strokes, it was so funny because you could pick out who was there for the Strokes and who was there for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Who the fuck are the Thundercats? Is that like a team of fucking Avengers or something?
Well, Thundercat is what it's called, and I imagine that I think it's a DJ because we were getting in. We were exiting the Uber fucking parade as Thundercat was on. So by the time we got in, we got some food. Like 20 minutes later, the Strokes started. But Thundercat, I think, is a DJ, I believe. And Thundercats was an old TV show, like an old cartoon from when I was a kid.
Okay. I never heard of Strokes.
Yeah, the
or
Strokes,
Thundercat.
you know that they got that one song. It's so funny because I got like picked out by the real Strokes fans because like I don't really fuck with the Strokes. I'm there for the Peppers, bro.
Wait, somebody call you out for not knowing the lyrics?
No, I could tell that I was getting like looks from the real Strokes fans when they played like their big radio hit. When it's like last night, you said, like that's how the song is, like real whiny kind of rock like that.
Okay.
And when that song came on, I was like getting a beer and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I fucking know this one.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I could just tell everybody that had like the tightest jeans and like the skinniest body and the skinniest frames, they were all just staring at me like, that's when the Strokes went wrong.
Fucking
like, you know,
poser.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. That's exactly the vibe I got. I was like, damn. I was like, why does everybody that weighs under 106 pounds, whether it be male or female, is looking at me crazy because I like this one song?
Was there like a community of people just like smoking cigarettes in the crowd as those guys were playing?
What? Say that again?
It was a bad joke.
Oh,
Based off of what I could imagine their fans look like.
They all look like members of the band. You know those bands? Where everybody that likes them looks just like them?
Okay.
You know, that's really what it was. But the Peppers were great, dude. Yo, Anthony Kiedis, the lead singer, dude, he just turned like 60. And he was shredded up there. He looked like he did when he was like in his 40s probably. Except he had a little like you could tell like the skin on his back was kind of like getting a little loose. You know, like I was like, yeah, he's definitely 60, you know? Like you could just start to see his skin starts to get a little...
Gravity starts kicking in.
Yeah, but yo, he looked freaking like he was having the best time, dude.
That's fine.
He was all over the place. Yeah, man. It was a good show, man.
And staying out there is cool too. I still do think it sucks that we don't have like a stadium like that in New York. It's like we have such a huge state. We don't really utilize most of it. And like I don't think that necessarily if we had one in New York, it would be as close as that one, right? Because where would they put it unless they did it on Long Island? But it'd be nice that you didn't have to travel 2.5 hours to go see a fucking football game.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I wonder where they would put it.
I don't know. That's what I'm
They
thinking.
would
in
have
my
to
head.
start to go upstate, which Buffalo's already up there with, but that's super far. Buffalo's like damn near Canada. Like,
Yeah, they could put one in between us and Buffalo.
Yeah.
They could put one in like next to the Aqueduct or something. What the fuck what are those casinos that are like in like White Plains and shit? That's like
yeah, they got one up there. They got the Aqueduct. They got another one. What the hell is the other one?
there's a casino up there somewhere that they could fucking replace.
You're not replacing the revenue of a casino.
I'm not saying it's gonna be like, well, I'm sure those stadiums bring in a lot of money.
They
I don't
bring in a
think-
lot of money,
yeah, I
but
don't
not
think-
not all year. It's not addicted money.
Yeah, you're right.
Like those people are addicted to gambling. Like
Yeah.
it's like they're like I know people that go to casinos and they're like, man, they gave us dinner. I was like, they didn't give you dinner.
Yo,
You
I got
paid for
this-
that dinner in your first 20 minutes.
How many times
You're
you
6,000 in the hole.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
did.
people tell me that shit all the time. Like, yo, if you ever want to go to the Tropicana, let me know, bro. I get free rooms. They comp the whole fucking thing. I'm like, damn, how much fucking money did you lose?
Yeah.
That these guys are willing to tell you that you could come whenever you want
Yeah.
and stay for free.
Because all they got to do is get you in the door, and that competitive urge and that addictive, I'm going to fucking pay my house off this weekend.
Can you imagine?
Like, that's the mentality that a lot of people go into gambling with, which is terrifying. They're like, come on, baby daddy needs to pay the mortgage. Like, throwing the dice. Like, you got a lot on the line there.
Can you imagine they did that with like crack houses and shit? They were like, come on down. We'll give you food. We'll give you a place to stay. And you could buy all the crack you want.
Yeah, but you got to buy, I don't know. Crack's a little cheap. It would have to be more expensive.
They could do it. You could do a coke house.
It would have to be something way more.
Yeah.
But listen, that's what they're allowed to do. I mean, it's what the liquor store does when they let you have little tastes. When they have like the people that do the tastings in there.
Yeah. I used to know a girl that did that.
Yeah, man. I actually in the liquor store like probably a couple months ago, I saw there was a girl there doing the shot. She was like an older woman, but she had this guy like up her ass. Some guy was just at the table like, hey, so asking her the stupidest questions. He was asking her stupid shit like, so any more stops today? Is this like the only liquor store you're doing? And I'm like, dude, Like, leave this lady alone.
Dude, how dumb are men? How
She
dumb
just
are we?
wants to do her job. I was like, go away.
How dumb are
Dude, he was so close to her. You know what I asked? I thought he worked there. I asked him to let me try to drink. And he's like, me? He's like, oh, I don't. And I was like, oh, the fuck? Get out from back there. Leave her alone. Like, I thought you work here. Why are you so close to her?
You guys are both wearing white pants. What's going on here?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on here, man?
Yeah.
Like, leave that woman alone. But it was, anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Are you watching anything on Netflix right now?
I'll tell you what I'm watching.
Let me know. What are you watching, bro?
I got my fucking notebook behind me with my notes of shit I want to talk about.
You got notes about... Go get that shit. Why you let me ramble over here?
It's over here, but I want to talk about fucking the Game of Thrones.
Okay. Don't tell me about it.
I'm not going to...
Because I plan on watching it tonight.
I'm not going to tell you about it.
He's lying.
He's
going to roundabout tell you. He's going to be like, oh, guess what? One of the main characters dies, but... Oh, I didn't tell you which one.
I'm just going to tell you a couple fun facts, not necessarily about the show, about what happens. I'm just going to tell you, A, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
He typically doesn't like anything, so this concerns me. I think I would have been more... I would have embraced the show more if you were like, I hated it.
I told you I loved Con Air when I first watched it. Anyways,
Well, Con Air is pretty good.
Con Air was good.
It's not bad.
Some people hate that fucking movie. They're like, every time I tell them it, it's like disgusting to them. They're like, ugh, that was a terrible movie. HBO Max crashed for a lot of fucking Fire Stick users. Like, that's how many people were using it.
But was it only the Fire Stick users?
It was mostly Fire Stick users.
All right, because I have like the TV with the shit built in, it's not a Fire TV. I think I have I forget what my Samsung TV is. My other one is like has a Roku.
Yeah, it's just an interface like that comes. I forgot what the operating system's called, but it's an operating system essentially that's built into the TV. But no, it's not going to happen anymore. It's just the day it dropped. Like, that's like, how many people were waiting for it, and I don't even know if it was like a server overload thing. But regardless, a lot of people experienced issues the first night it dropped. I watched it, I think the day before yesterday. I think Monday night. I thought it was good. It made me excited. It made me not like sexually excited, but like excited for like the show.
Damn, it didn't?
No, it didn't arouse me. It
There's
wasn't
no chicks flying dragons around?
No, I'm pretty sure there's tits in the first episode, but I don't.
I said chicks.
What?
I said chicks flying dragons around.
No, I know. I said tits. I meant breast. Like, because I was talking about the fact that I wasn't aroused on it, but I wanted to go back and just for the people who are concerned, because some people watch these shows just for the breast.
Yeah, I mean, that's there's always something. I mean, if there's a Littlefinger in this season, like there was in the other Game of Thrones,
then you're gonna see a lot of chest.
Is Littlefinger in this?
I thought you didn't want me to tell you. No,
all right,
it's 300 years before the last Game of Thrones. 300
years before. But this is the Mad King, right?
It's 300 years before the Mad King. That last show started like after the Mad King.
Yeah.
It's 300 years before that.
It's 300 years before the Mad King?
Yeah, but I don't know if this season's going to go over 300 years. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Because they only released one episode. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That I called you this morning and said, you know what? We're going to talk about this when we go live.
It's right here in the chat. People, look what Saif asked. He said, is it all already out? And Chris said, no, just episode 1. And Saif said, okay.
Yeah, well, that's, HBO Max's.
We talked about that.
Yeah. So after I watched the first episode, I wanted nothing more like the fucking addict that I am than another fucking line of Game of Thrones. I wanted nothing more than to get more Game of Thrones in me. Right?
You just wanted to rail.
I just wanted to rail more Game
season.
of Thrones. Yeah, I needed a whole season. I was ready to not show up for work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the episode's over, and nothing. You can't. There's no other episode. And you said it this morning, and you were like, yeah, well, it keeps people fucking subscribed. And I think Spaz has said this in the past. Like, I get it. It's logical. It's a little, it's just weird because we're not used to it, right? We're used to Netflix and Hulu and fuck Hulu and Prime and all these other fucking, all these other streaming subscriptions putting out there like the whole shit, or at least half of it, And now here I am. It's like fucking 1999 again. Another fucking, I'm waiting every fucking week for another episode of Seventh Heaven. It's like Rick and Morty all over again. I'm waiting another whole fucking week like a fucking addict, just sitting around talking shit about how good this episode was and waiting for the next one.
He said, wait a whole week for another episode of Seventh Heaven.
I just don't. I get it. I don't know if, You know, we've already moved away from that method of like television, right? Where you wait for a show every week. I think we've moved past that.
Yeah, I think we have to a degree, but you got to understand the business model. That's really it. There's nothing that's going to benefit us necessarily in the case of releasing one episode at a time. But I do like the rewatchability of it. That, yeah, it's given, you know, it comes on each week, but there still is an advantage of you don't have to watch it that day. You know,
Yes.
because that used to be the problem is if you had something going on or you missed a show, you couldn't watch it unless you taped it and then DVR came out or TiVo.
Yeah, forget about it, bro. When I used to miss an episode of True Blood, I had to wait till fucking like 3 hours later when they played that shit on, like,
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so they played the California time one.
Yeah, when you wake up at 2 a.m, you're like, oh shit, did I fall? Oh no, never mind. This is the encore. Yeah,
Yeah, no, you're 100% right about that. And I guess like, you know, it lets you. I don't know if I enjoy it more. I'll tell you one thing though. I'm ready to rewatch the original Game of Thrones, and I rewatch a lot of shit. I've rewatched Schitt's Creek. I've rewatched The fucking Office. I've seen every episode of fucking Rick and Morty like 10 times. I rewatch a lot of shit.
I can't rewatch anything like that.
I wasn't gonna rewatch. I was never gonna rewatch Game of Thrones because I thought it was too much dialogue. Right. And you know what? For the people who do rewatch it, good for you. You're a more intelligent person than I am. I need I need two dudes, you know, smacking their dicks together or something like that to get me to come back. I need something real, thoroughly entertaining. Fucking vocals aren't going to do it for me. Dialogue, not going to do it for me. There's not an amount of chesticles you could put on that show that's going to make me want to rewatch it. But watching this episode made me want to go back and rewatch the original Game of Thrones.
Oh, Mama Brooks, hold on a second. Last episode, guess what she just brought up?
What?
She just brought up Day Shift.
Day Shift? Oh,
That Jamie Foxx new vampire movie
you're talking about
was fire. That Jamie Foxx vampire movie was fire.
I was so surprised you liked it because I thought it was going to be fucking. And I didn't finish watching it. I only watched a little bit of it, and then
Bro, that shit was great.
I thought it was going to be fucking corny as. But you know, what I thought it was going to be like when Will Smith did that fucking like gargoyle movie when they were cops. You remember that shit?
Will Smith?
Was that Will Smith? I'm gonna feel terrible if it was somebody else.
A gargoyle movie?
Remember, it was like they were like goblins or some shit, and they were cops. They were like discriminated against. Maybe it wasn't Will Smith.
Shit, I don't remember. I don't know.
It was called Bright. Thank you, Chris.
Oh my God, Bright was terrible.
I thought it was gonna be like Bright.
Bright. Oh my God, yo, Bright was the worst movie I've ever seen in my whole life. Listen to me.
How's this movie different,
Bro?
Because it seems like Bright.
No. Anybody that is in this chat right now, if you want to add time onto your life, do not watch that movie, Bright. Bright will honestly kill days off of your life if you watch it. That shit was the worst piece of shit movie I've ever seen.
Would you rather watch that, or would you rather watch Brendan Schaub's last comedy special?
I'd rather get Brendan Schaub's last comedy special title tattooed on me.
I'd rather go see it live.
I'd rather like watch the taping of it and watch multiple takes.
Yeah, you know what it was called? It's called Gringo Poppy. It should be hilarious if you got it tattooed on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Gringo Poppy tattooed right on me before I ever watch Bright again. That shit was awful.
That's so fucking funny. I seen people do. Remember, I know we've talked about this 1,000 times, and we're gonna veer off now into something else, and then I'll go into my next topic. But people doing the craziest things for clout. I seen a YouTube video of a guy who was going around asking people to like get his face tattooed on them, and he'll get their face tattooed on him.
And they did it.
And he found the second person he asked.
Well, he must have asked somebody that had a bunch of tats already.
This person did have a bunch of tattoos.
Once you have a certain level of tattoos, you don't really mind what else gets tattooed on.
Yeah, it's like, fuck it.
Like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it tomorrow, but
he got it done by a really good artist. They did a really good job, and he's just got this dude's face on him now. It was actually a pretty cool video. They went out, and he was like, "What's your favorite thing to do?" And he's like, "I'm a fighter. I train MMA. Like, my favorite thing to do is to train in the gym." And he was like, my favorite thing to do is paintball. So one day they went paintballing. The next day they went to his gym and they did like some kickboxing. They did some jujitsu, and they like shared this experience together. And then the day after that, boom, they went to get tatted.
That sounds pretty dope. I mean,
it was pretty cool. But it's crazy when you think about it. Like when you step away from the fact that it was a cool video, and they still have this on them, it's like crazy.
Well, I'm sure that it has millions of views by this point. And if that can go ahead and change your life, I mean, shit, I might do some crazy shit like that so that I don't have to go to work.
Yeah, you're right. If you tell me
if I could be like, listen, I'm going to get this stranger tattooed on me, but this will be the end of me having to go to work because now I can earn money in a different way, whether that be a YouTube personality or some kind of online shit. This is why people do that. People are desperate to change the way that they earn money.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. If I would get a stranger's face tattooed on me if it meant that I didn't have to work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there are worse things.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like a shitty one.
Like a shitty tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how'd he get the guy?
What
he got him like that dude that damn, who was I talking with?
He found him like paying for parking or something like that. It was in Canada too. Everybody was super friendly.
Yo, I told this story. I can't even tell it on the air. God damn it.
Now that's it.
Nah, I'll tell you off air.
Damn, I watched I read a whole entire like Reddit thread about people who hate when people do that during podcasts. By the way, this is bad podcasting. I'm say it for you guys. I'm gonna say it for you guys. I don't feel this way about you, Justin, personally, but for the people out there in the chat that would love to have heard this story, that's not very nice. Did you hear about all the fucking teachers on strike in Columbus, Ohio?
No, why are they striking?
There's like 4,000 teachers that are striking. And school starts in like 2 days.
Well, I mean, they probably want to keep working from home and not really teach anymore. I mean, shit, would you let it go? If you wanted to, like, if you got to work from home all the time, like sitting, chilling it, well, you do work from home.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
It's like, you get the best job ever. That's like the scene.
This guy literally has the best job ever.
No, it's like the scene in Pineapple Express where he's like, man, you got the best job ever. You just get to drive around and smoke weed all day. He's like, you literally do that. That's exactly what you do. You just sit here and smoke weed all day. Never fails.
Look, this serial killer.
Never fucking fails that my phone rings during the podcast. But yeah, no.
He's talking over me. He doesn't want me to say what I want to say. So he wasn't talking over me, but he was making sure to not leave any room for me to try to jump in and tell him he's a serial killer for not putting his phone on vibrate.
I think we've asked the chat many times, and we're all on the same page here, where we feel that it's okay to have this person really wants to get a hold of me. Maybe I should pick it up and tell him.
Yeah, maybe you should pick it up
and say, "Hey, I'm live on the podcast right now."
Say, "Hey, you call every single day while we're live."
Should I pick it up?
Yeah, put him on the mic. Who is it? Put him on the mic. Tell him, yo, you're live. You're hot right now.
Hey, what's up, man? Because you called me twice, I picked up the phone, but I'm live on the podcast right now, and you're on speaker. So let's hear it.
Yo, what up, my niggas?
What?
I did it on purpose.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah, I just want to say it was good, y'all. I'm surprised he answered.
Nah, bro. Listen, you're on the pod right now. You're gonna go in the title. You're a guest.
We're putting you in the title. I wish I would have hooked up the Bluetooth to the thing so you can hear you good. But yo, I'll hit you back when I'm done.
Yo, that's all.
Peace.
Damn, man. I thought you were gonna put his feet to the fire and start asking him trivia. I thought you were gonna do some shit like this.
He came in hot. I don't know what. I didn't know
what was gonna come
I didn't know what he was gonna say. And once you say something on the internet, it's there forever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what he was gonna say. I was like, oh nope, I gotta save him from himself this time.
Yo, that is hilarious. But yo,
Go ahead.
they're in here talking about working from home. Like, yeah, dude, I wouldn't. In Florida, teachers just quit. You see that? That's crazy. And if they moved, if Spaz says he moved out of state to avoid going back to the office, you see that? That's, dude, it's valuable to be able to work from home. At least it seems from the outside to me.
So it depends, right? Because I don't mind going into the office. But my personality kind of like, plays well with like, being in places where other people are.
But would you rather go into an office or work from home? If given the option, if they were like, listen, you can come back full time every day if you want, or we can keep on going the way we're going and you stay home.
If it's like binary like that, like black and white, like one or the other, I'm gonna stay home. But if there's an option for a hybrid method, I would rather be hybrid, like 2 days from home, 3 days from home, 2 days in the office, or like kind of like the way I have right now, where if I really wanted to, I could go into an office somewhere and work. But yeah, I would rather like a hybrid. Dude, being at home is fucking, I hate to sound lame, but that shit is lonely as hell. You know, there's something cool about like, and I'm not the kind of person that needs to go into work and make everybody my best friend, you know, but I like busting balls. I like going in and talking shit, and there ain't nobody to talk shit to at home. It's just me and the dog, you know? There's a lot of advantages. I took my, I could take my kid to the doctor whenever she has a doctor's appointment. I could hang out with her all day. You know, I could, I don't know. You could do laundry while you're working. Who the fuck knows? So there are advantages to being at home, but there are disadvantages as well. The expectation is higher.
Yeah, the things that I think about is my limited time, and if I were able to reallocate some of those minutes after work that I need to utilize to get other things done, if I could squeeze those minutes into my work day, like laundry, like whatever, regular errands, going to the grocery store quick or something like that, then I feel like that would be a huge advantage for when I got off of work with how I could maximize that time now that I have actual free time instead of free time that's not really free because you're doing other shit.
Yeah, saving money on gas, saving money on food, those are all benefits as well. But I don't believe that they were striking because they didn't want to go back to work. It was like other things. They couldn't.
I assume that. I'm sorry. Why did they strike?
That's perfect. That led us right down the fucking. Listen, nobody comes here for facts. If you're here for the first time and you haven't heard us say this before, don't listen to anything we say and take it as fact because we're full of shit. But it was like union contract negotiations. They're just the union wants to give them 3% and a pat in the back, and they don't believe that's enough, and they want better conditions in the school. Like they say, some of the schools are like old, antiquated buildings with no air conditioning and stuff like that, and improper ventilation or whatever. So they're arguing about a bunch of stuff. But it's just interesting because this is the first time since like '74 that there's been a strike this large for teachers.
Wow.
Yeah.
4,000, you said?
4,000 people in this union. It's not just teachers. There's teachers, nurses, and like faculty.
Okay. What, from the school? So school nurses?
Yeah, school nurses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the conditions are over there? I thought you were saying it's one of those strikes. Like I've been seeing these lobbyists and stuff at the teachers unions, and all they keep on talking about is it's like unsafe to be back in. Like they're holding on to this schmemic talk.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm like, dude, get over that shit.
Yeah, they're talking about two things. They're talking about bathrooms, the gender neutral bathrooms, and they're talking about fucking, whether it's safe to come back and whether you should get another jab.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Did you see, I think Fauci said that he's like recommending like a schmolio vaccine. It's like,
you know how I feel about this guy.
I don't even want to talk about it. Is this the guy that fucked the dog?
I don't know. Is he?
Allegedly.
I know he did a lot of crazy stuff, and he's a crazy man that made a lot of money off of a lot of crazy ideas that made everybody crazy. That's what I know.
Whatevs.
Yeah, that's all I got. But I did go to a seafood festival this weekend as well.
How was that? Damn, you fucking
shit was bomb, son.
You better be careful, bro. You stayed in the hotel, seafood festival.
Well, the seafood festival was local after I was already home.
Yeah.
I went over the weekend and shit was so good, man.
Those all seem like erotic events.
Had a bunch of oysters. Had some crab cakes.
Nice.
What's
your favorite like seafood? Like seafood?
Ooh, it depends. I mean, I love scallops.
Yeah.
I love some good scallops.
They're good. I like them when they're fresh or sweet.
Yeah, when they're my sister's man makes the best scallops, bro. I swear to God, he makes them like a restaurant. Like they're better than a lot of scallops I've had in restaurants. Like you got to go to a high-end restaurant to have scallops as good as the ones that he gets. and he makes rather.
Was there
They're big joints, like they're like this big,
They just look like fillets.
big joints. You know,
You like the raw stuff too, right? Did they have any sushi there? Was it like American?
yeah, it's not sushi, but they had like raw oysters, like oysters on a half shell. Like I eat that. We had a dozen of those. I get oysters pretty much there's a lot of really good places to get oysters on Long Island. Like Salt and Barrel in Bayshore.
Okay, I've seen it. I've never been there before.
Bro, Salt and Barrel is one of the best spots for oysters that is around, in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a huge. I'll eat them. Like if you get some oysters and you're like, oh, I'll have an oyster. Like I'll eat them. I'll eat clams. I'll eat it all. But it's not like I wouldn't order it. I feel the same way about calamari too. I feel like very few places even prepare calamari well. I feel like it's always like fucking like eating a fucking tire.
Well, that's because it's overcooked. When you go to a place that doesn't overcook it, it's not like rubber bands. Like that shit is like deep fried rubber bands. If you get it, it's not, it's not good. But also the oysters at Catch are really good too. Catch is another place.
You know what Spaz just said? Lobster mac and cheese.
Yeah, lobster mac is bomb too.
Yeah, that shit's delicious.
It's good, but that's not a summer food. Like I'm not eating lobster mac and cheese in August.
I eat that shit whenever. I think they had that at my wedding.
Yeah, I'm not having lobster mac and cheese in August.
That shit's delicious.
You know, that shit is delicious, but there's just certain things like I don't want to have clam chowder in the summer either.
Yeah, no, there's certain things that are, appropriate for like, certain weathers. So I'll agree with you with that, but I don't follow those fucking rules.
To me, like some raw oysters over like a bed of ice, like when they serve that shit, it just takes me to like outdoor eating in the summertime on Long Island, like day drinking on a weekend. You Uber into town, you get your oysters, I love that kind of stuff, man.
How do they prepare those puppies? Is it just like, they just shuck them and put them on the table?
Yeah. We went to a party. Our friends that live in Huntington. We went to their house for a party, and they had an oyster shucking station. They just had an ice barrel full of them shits, and you just stick your hand in there, you pull it out, you put the glove on, and you fucking shuck that shit yourself.
Damn, I hope that glove is one of those ones that they fucking catch shark with and shit.
Yeah,
so
it's like
fucking kills himself.
That shit is like that shit you wear under your armor.
Yeah. It's chainmail.
Yeah. It was it was like that crazy shit. But no, it was good. This dude was over there, and he just looked like I could tell he knew what he was doing. I was like, "Hey, bro," and he's like, "What's up?" I was like, "You know how to shuck one of these bad boys?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to watch?" I was like, "Yeah." He just freaking bang. Like you take it's like a special kind of tool.
Yeah.
It's you're not using a butter knife.
What do they call it? A shucker?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know what they call it. Good question. I wish we weren't the only ones here. So
That's not. Yeah.
So then you take the tool and you like stick it into like the back, like where the hinge is at. You know what I'm saying? On, like
Yeah,
the back
yeah,
of
the
it.
foot.
You like stab it through there, and then you just like work your way around it like a paint can.
Okay. That's definitely the foot of that fucking thing.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know. You stab it in the back of the head. I don't know what it is exactly.
Yeah, how dare you?
But nah, that shit is bomb. Throw some cocktail sauce on there, maybe a little horseradish or something, and
I like horseradish. I like that shit on my steak though.
Yeah,
like
no.
on, like a steak sandwich.
I like the cocktail sauce, man. That's good, man.
The term is oyster knife.
Oyster knife. There we go. Oyster knife is the term, huh?
Thank you, Spaz.
Right in front of my nose the whole time. Oyster knife, of course.
Yeah, that's what they call it in
But of course.
where they shuck oysters. Anything else, man?
New show on Netflix I'm watching.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called Echoes, and it's fire.
You want to tell us? I know I'm also watching the show. You want to tell us like the premise?
Yeah, the premise is this woman, she's got an identical twin. One of them's very city-like, LA-like. The other one's very country. And it starts when they're adults, but long story short, they switch places throughout their life, in their lives, and then one of them goes missing.
Don't you think that's fucking crazy?
It is crazy, but it's a great idea for a show, at least in my opinion. I am super intrigued.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good concept for a show. But I kept telling myself, like, how do the husbands not know?
yeah, of course, you got to suspend your belief a little bit. I'm like, really? Your dad don't know what his daughters look like?
That was fucking crazy too.
I've known a lot of identical twins in my life. Not a lot, probably a good handful of sets. And you can always tell them apart. You think I can't tell the difference between Tia and Tamara? Come on, son.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I don't even know them.
Everybody knows Tia's hotter.
She's hotter. That's so fucking funny. I'll tell you what scene fucking Mary Kate is in Full House and which one's Ashley.
Yeah, you know. You know who was tricky? The kid from Big Daddy. That was a tricky kid.
That kid was a fucking twin?
Yes, there's two of them in that movie.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. They're twins that play that kid.
Damn, that was a cute kid. There's two of those kids?
Yeah, there's two of those kids.
Holy
Frankenstein.
shit.
Two of them, Frankenstein. They both wipe their own ass.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn. Huh. Fun fact.
Yeah, man. But that was pretty goddamn good. But of course, you know, if you're not expecting twins,
Yeah.
you know, they know that in this TV show I'm talking about, or this TV show, this Netflix show, I'm dating myself here. This television show. Like every time I'm like,
television
quick,
program.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, quick, put on my program. You know? It's like, yeah. Or quick, come on, somebody film this. Hand him my cell phone.
Hurry up. I want to sit down before the show starts.
Right, I'm like, tape it. Hurry up. I want to tape this. While I'm at the Chili Peppers concert. Watch out, move your head. I'm trying to tape it.
My grandma be using like the Verizon app to make sure she be getting her novelas taped and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, you know, you could just like go on Univision, the app, and like watch it on demand. And she's like, no.
Yeah, she don't want to watch it on demand, son.
But to go back to what you were saying, what you were saying was
The twins.
the twins. How the fuck those guys didn't get picked up and like spun off into another movie or show?
What guys? Wait a minute. How far ahead are you?
The twins from.
Oh, they had a reality show.
Did they?
Yeah, that was like the two of them in their life as like being like rich and young, like high school type dudes.
I had no idea. No, the show, yeah.
I think they're not that much younger than us. I think they're like in like probably their late 20s or something by now.
Okay.
Think about it. How old is that movie? And what were they, like 10 in that movie? Something
Nah,
like
they
that?
weren't 10.
8?
If
How old could
that.
he have been? Even if he was 6. That movie's 20 years old.
I don't know.
probably.
He was fucking acting. I have no idea.
Probably,
how
movie's
fucking
probably
old he was.
20 years old by now.
Maybe. You're probably right. But what I was going to say is about Echo, I do think it's a good show. I do think like you're absolutely correct. You need to do is just kind of fucking pull yourself away from like, you know, this isn't real and just kind of enjoy the
My
show.
dad does that shit. Like, he's like, my dad will do that. Like, Family Guy is on. He's like, that could never happen. And I'm like, yeah, like a talking dog? Yeah, probably can't happen.
I do that shit when me and my girl watching movies. It's like a car chase. I'm like, impossible.
Yeah, right. You think
Yeah.
somebody like that, you ever see that car chase scene in the movie Red? Remember that movie? It had Morgan Freeman and like Bruce Willis in it. You know, there's one scene where he like spins his car like doing a donut and he just steps out because he like spun it so tight that it was as if like
Oh, yeah.
where he got out of the car like wasn't moving. It was, you know, so he like stepped out and then like let off these shots and like got back in when the car like finished spinning. You know, and I was like, damn, that's so cool, but so fake.
Yeah. I see
You know?
shit like that. I'm like, this isn't real. Like when you're watching the first Fast and the Furious and they're going through like 9 different gears.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not how cars work.
You know.
Danger to manifold. And then the fucking floor plate comes flying out. It's like, wait, what? How'd that happen?
See, but you know what you're watching. I was like, man, it's so real.
No, when I watched that shit, I was like, holy shit, that's where the manifold is. Are you kidding me? When I watched that shit the first time, I was like, manifold, just a fucking plate under the car.
Bro, how old were you when the first Fast and the Furious came out? Did you go to the movie theater?
I don't remember. I know what you're going to tell me, but I sincerely don't remember.
Bro, when I left, I saw that shit. I think I saw it at the Comac movie theater. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that place doesn't even exist anymore.
No, and thank God it doesn't. That place was wild. But anyway, bro, we leave. Was it the Comac theater? I don't fucking remember. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Came out in 2001, and those kids were born in 92, so they're not that much younger than us.
Yeah, and see, that's their name. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. But
Oh, shit! Those were the same kids?
yeah, that's the Big Daddy kid.
I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they did hit it big. I mean, you heard what I said? I was like, how the fuck those kids not get a spin-off and hit it big? They were cute kids, you know? They for sure should have had a show. I could have been their agent.
Oh my God.
Turns
fucking
out
hilarious.
they're fucking superstars. Thank you, Spaz. Go ahead.
Yeah, Spaz, thank you. But when I left seeing When I left seeing Fast and Furious in the movie theater, bro, all it was just everybody crashing their car and getting arrested in the parking lot. People weren't even able, people were all racing their mom's car and shit like, like where everybody was crashing into each other. I swear it was like 4 accidents in the parking lot.
Yeah, people doing burnouts in their Ford Taurus and shit.
It was, everybody left that movie ready to be like a career drag racer for pink slips.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. That was a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah, man.
Till this day. One of like my, if not my favorite, like automotive movie. Like I couldn't think of another movie. Tokyo Drift was good too, but also just another, movie off of the franchise. But the first one specifically, fucking amazing.
Yeah, that shit was really good. I have to say that.
Are you
talking about shitty movies? I love Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's
one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite car movie.
Also a good car movie.
I love that movie. I love that movie, bro. I'm big into those movies where they assemble a team of like retired guys, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know
those shitty heist movies.
Yeah, I love that shit.
There's an entire episode of Rick and Morty that's dedicated to that. And like the thing is, like they'll come into the room and they'll be like, and the guy goes, he'll like tell him the story, and at the end he's like, son of a bitch, I'm in. And they just keep going to person. They're like, son of a bitch, I'm in. They get the fuck. It's like any of the ocean movies.
Yeah, all the ocean movies. You also got like the Italian Job. Like they're putting them in the comments. Ocean's 11, the Italian Job. Spaz said the best movies.
Yeah, they're so good.
I love them. And Mama Brooks is saying that Nicolas Cage was fabulous in that. Yeah, bro, that movie is great. Are you kidding me? When they play that song, that boom, dum, 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 boom, dum, 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 dum. But while they all go out and he's like, now we're ready. They all go out, just start robbing these cars, man. I love that shit. And I love when the dude tries to carjack the OG black dude that's stealing the car.
Yes.
And the dude comes over and he's like, get out of the car and shit. And he's like, damn, I can't believe this shit. And then he just fucks the dude up real quick, like knocks him out and shit. He's like, calls him lazy and shit.
Get back in the car.
Yeah, man, calls him all lazy.
Yeah,
he's like, you
young.
can't even steal it yourself. Yeah. He's like, you gotta let me steal it so then you can steal it from me.
He was complaining about how lazy the youth was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
Gone in 60 Seconds was great. I don't know why I loved Nicolas Cage so much when I was younger. I used to love, we mentioned earlier, fucking Con Air was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Now as an adult, I don't know if Nicolas Cage is the guy I once thought he was.
That's a great movie, bro. That's a great movie, Con Air.
No.
I'm so serious. Dave Chappelle fucking spits up a fucking like condom full of gasoline or whatever and squirts it on the dude next to him. And he said, Pocahontas is burning.
No, he said the last Mohican is burning. That's what he said. He said the last Mohican. He looked at him. He said, I'm sorry. Yeah. He looks at him and says, I'm sorry. So spitting gas on him.
That shit was wild,
and
bro.
Burns him. No, it was a great movie. It wasn't. I don't know if it was a great movie, but it was a good movie.
It was good for the time.
Man, but after I seen fucking Ghost Rider, I didn't need to see any more Nicolas Cage.
Nah, I mean, Ghost Rider they did that all wrong. That could have been a fire movie. If they had somebody cooler play, I think it just wasn't done as well as it could have been.
You think it was like the first Hulk? Like they just didn't do it right?
Yeah, man. The first Hulk let me down a lot. But another great Nicolas Cage movie is 8mm. I'm telling you, got to watch that if you ever watch it. He's he's like a private investigator or some shit like that. And he comes across this case that this like woman wants him to look into or something. Her husband died or something, and he left like some kind of safe or some kind of like secret room they found in his house, some shit like that. And they find this tape, and she plays the tape, and the tape is a snuff film, and she wants to know if it's like real, I guess. I think that's how it went. To see if like her husband was really into this kind of shit. Nicolas Cage checks it and he goes through like all the checks, and it turns out by however he determines that he thinks it is possibly real. So he gets involved in like this investigating and going deep into this underworld of like just shiesty people doing adult entertainment, like adult, like, it's like the surface area is like those like freak shops, like with like all the crazy sex toys and stuff. Like that's like the surface. area, and then like he starts digging deep into like who knows who works over here, and who knows the guy that can get you to weird videos, and James Gandolfini is in it. He ends up being one of the guys in this world, which is Tony Soprano, if people don't know. But man, it was good, man. It was good. And then he's just, he gets too deep. And now it's like, whoa, dude, like these movies aren't legal to be made. Like this guy knows we're making these movies. Kill this guy. Like that kind of deal. Like it's crazy. It was really, really good, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. James Gandolfini. Face Off was good.
Yeah.
Was that Travolta?
It was Travolta and Nicolas Cage, which
Face
was
Off
the
was
big.
good.
That was a ridiculous idea. That movie was cool too. I can't lie. I can't lie. That shit was pretty great. But the concept was crazy. Like these two dudes, like for some reason they swap faces, but then they become each other. Like I'm like, this Nicolas Cage, John Travolta's face would have been way too baggy for Nicolas Cage's like skinny head, But anyway, again, you got to suspend your belief.
Yeah.
I'm
Gotta
like,
pull yourself away from it.
yeah, I'm like, man,
From
that never
reality.
would have worked. No matter how much Botox they pumped into his face, it wouldn't have fit him.
Nobody had the fucking steady hands or the surgical. What is the expression? The surgical. He said you don't have the steady hand or the surgical expertise to pull that kind of maneuver off.
Yeah, what was that from?
I don't remember. It's from a movie though.
I know it. I know exactly what you're talking
It's either from Superbad or Pineapple Express or some shit like that. One of those movies. Tom's gonna tell us.
Yeah, Tommy's going to tell us.
But that's it, man. We've been on. We've passed the hour mark.
We are past
Every
the hour mark.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. We'll be here. If you missed the episode, you could catch us on any of your audio podcast listening platforms. That's all I got. You got anything for them?
Nah, that's all I got. Spaz had a question. He said, have you ever seen Next with Cage and Jessica Biel?
I think I have.
I've seen most Jessica Biel movies for research purposes.
Yeah, me too.
Even if they're not good. She's great in The Sinner. If you haven't seen any of The Sinner, she's one of the executive producers, and she's in a couple of the seasons, but I think not in the second one. I think something like that. I think she's in the first, maybe not the second and the third, but damn, that show was crazy. The Sinner is great. Highly recommend.
It's damn. Have I seen this movie?
I don't know, man. Once you've seen one Nicolas Cage movie, they some of them bleed together.
Yeah.
Except for like that Alabama one. What is it called?
It's on HBO Max. If anybody wants to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out. But first, I'm going to watch this Game of Thrones episode. So, guys, that's what we got. Please, if you're still in the chat, if you were earlier and you jump back in, please give us a thumbs up. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, share with anybody that you think would enjoy this content. Go ahead and jump on in. What you got?
Before we end, I just want to let you guys know that this movie is about a Las Vegas magician who can see into the future.
What is next?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that.
Yeah. And the FBI is seeking his talents so they could prevent a nuclear terrorist attack. Because if he could see into the future, he wouldn't help him on his own. They got to coerce him. This is fucking crazy. That's it. Masters in that episode 117. Nicolas Cage is the fucking man.
Face Off was way realer than that bullshit.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión.